What's going on, y'all? It's All-Star Izzy in the building. Young Vicious Tiger seeking no fangs into this world. What's happening? How's everybody feeling tonight? We in this thing. How's everybody doing? We in this thing. Listen, we're gonna get into a nice conversation. I think it's imperative, This is very important to talk on. Hey, soon come, by the way. Soon come where I'll be speaking through the microphone and, it'll be a lot better quality. But for this one specifically, we're gonna be talking about if not now, when, And this is one of those conversations that people need to be having with themselves continuously, right? Not just out of necessity. Not out of, and when I mean necessity, I mean like, I often notice, even in myself before, when it was like, if not now, when? Meaning like, if I'm not gonna take action now, when will I ever do it? Will I wait till the end? And the end meaning, will I wait until a drastic time for me to become, oh my God, this is my time now to switch? If not now, when? Because what most people genuinely do is they like to wait until all hell breaks loose. They like to wait until everything becomes negative for everybody to transform their pain into power. Everybody wants to wait till the last minute when it's that last buzzer beater to just switch and create something new for yourself. You don't have to wait. But if it's not now, then when? Why is it, even when life is great, why is it that even if not now, you can't get yourself ahead to the point of where it needs to be? And we're going to be touching on a couple of topics. I'm also going to be reading off some TikTok comments as well. Because this is what, not only with the if not now, when, but there was also a conversation on TikTok I was having with a various amount of people that was disagreeing with what I was saying. And it really sparked the idea of, if life is uncertain, then why does your life have to be? Why does it have to be? By the way, my name is All-Star Izzy. If you're new, please hit the like button and subscribe to your boy. We on the road to the top. We in this motherfucking thing. But that's the thing that we're going to be speaking on a genuine conversation, y'all. I mean, when can it never not be genuine, not be real to get to the point of this, If life is so uncertain, then why do you have to be? Yo, Weeding WDG, what's happening? What's good? It's All-Star Izzy. What's up with you, bro? How you feeling? Great to see you. Aaliyah, Marshall, what's up? Hi. What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling tonight? We good? What's going on? Cattle on Wolf. I hope I said that correct. What's going on? What's happening? What's good with everybody? What's up? It's your boy All-Star Izzy. Hit that like button and subscribe to your boy. We're going to be talking on this thing, Because if life is so, you know what? Maybe y'all in the chat can talk to me. If life is so, Ephraim, great to see you. But if life is so uncertain, then why do you have to be? Why does yours have to be? I'm your fan. I appreciate you. You know what? I'm your fan too. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking your time out. I'm your fan as well. I'm your fan. I'm a fan of seeing you here. How about that? I fuck with that. But that's an honest conversation, If life is uncertain, then why do you gotta be? And we're gonna be covering these various topics. I see people that's in the building. Maybe y'all can help me answer the question, because a lot of people don't know the answer, right? A lot of people don't understand what the answer is. But fuck it, we're gonna get to it. And we're gonna have conversations about it, And let me look at my notes really quickly, because I'm a nerd. I like to take notes. I like to write things down. Aaliyah says, how are you? I'm great, actually. I got up early as fuck. Had to get some things in order. Had to make sure that I got things correct, just to make sure, I planned correctly. Got a great night's sleep. I took an amazing shower. Went on a nice walk, got some sun, finally. I subscribed Cattle on Wolf. Hey, everybody take initiative like Cattle on Wolf. I appreciate you. Hey, shout out to Cattle on Wolf for the subscribe. We go on the road to the top. And it helps if you guys hit the like button or, subscribe, because, it takes us to the moon. It takes us to Australia, which hopefully one day, well, no, I definitely will go to Australia. I don't know what year, though, but I definitely want to be there. If your life is book, what will it be? I have no idea what that message says. But you know what? I'm going to answer your name. If your life was a book, what will it be? I have no idea. I'm not going to lie. I was trying to think of something. I guess off the top of the dome, maybe Impactful Players. Or the Infinite Within. Some shit like that. It was a beautiful book that I read recently, though. It was really good. It was like an audio book, though. But That one really hit home, as it always should, you know. But regardless, a little bit that I'm gonna speak on really quick. Let me look at my notes because I can't be on here for too long. I got somewhere to be towards like 4:30. It's currently 3:39 on my end. So just give me 1 minute, y'all. Let me look at this notes real quick. I cannot actually get through that. But yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get into the conversation. You know, I'm not gonna take too much time on it anyways. How long have I been on YouTube? I've been on YouTube for 2 years. This year will mark 3 years, but I just started becoming a lot more consistent last year in October. So in October, it will be a full year for myself, you know? So that's when everything will be right. Then I was like, damn, because I really showed myself I wasn't consistent with it. I'm excited though, because this year I'm posting every single day, or I'm going on live, you know, and now I just started integrating going on TikTok live, and I've been going on Twitch, and it's been crazy. I always wanted to be a YouTuber. Listen, you can be a YouTuber. You gotta, you know what? Actually, I'm glad that you said that. You gotta put in the work, of course, be consistent. But one thing I noticed too, because I actually had a client call the other day. It was like yesterday morning actually, and I was speaking with him, and because he said he wanted to be an entrepreneur. He wanted to own a business. Paving, great to see you. But his whole thing was like, oh, I want to do this. I just don't know what to do. Maybe if I'm consistent at it continuously, then I'll get to that point. And I was like, yes, consistency is great once you want to become an entrepreneur. You want to be well known, you want to be a singer, you know, whatever dream that you want. Consistency is great, hard work is great. However, what's better than that, and what's the next step of consistency, is pivoting to know what's your lane. That doesn't mean you have to have a specific niche, because I speak on dating, but I also talk on confidence and everything. You can post every single day, but it can be just BS basically. But if you add actual value or quality in your work, it'll eventually grow. Cause I'm actually, there's a video I have done, and it's basically about subscribers, likes, and followers don't really matter. It's really about the impact of the person who is creating the foundation around everything. That's really what matters. And the quality that you put in your work. No, it doesn't matter if you have, like you said, you only have 1 subscriber, right? Paving also says, but it's hard, but you can work smart, not that hard. Exactly. The only thing that's hard about it is that you don't see the immediate results that you want. But the truth is that it's always going to be there regardless, you know? So even with that, all you got to do is just add the value in it. Just add exceptional value, tremendous value. Just be exceptional in what you do, and everything will work out no matter what it is. People want to be impactful. People want big platforms, and it depends on how you want to do it. You know, you can just create videos just to create videos, or you can just create whatever to create whatever. But if you genuinely want to build a community or a following and be a centerpiece of it, you have to engage, add value to it, and watch everything work itself out regardless. Hard work gets rewarded, but quality work gets recognized, validated, and it gets rewarded as well. Because it's the next step above everything else. But that's just my thoughts on that, because I'm making a video on it too. That was a small little portion and summary. I have a video, done already, but that's really what it's about. You know, because I know there's a lot of people in my corner, or a lot of people that I know around in my life, right? I just got my brother-in-law onto streaming. He's been streaming consecutively for 3 days. We just started his first stream on Saturday, which was, it wasn't my first time streaming on Twitch, but I was on his Twitch, and I was streaming on TikTok at the same time. But like showing that to other people, and I gave him the sauce for that. That's the secret. Add the quality in it. Yeah, consistency is great, but you know, you can be consistent in buying forks. You're just doing it, you know? So it's like being conscious in it. I just gave $1,000 worth of game on that. Ephraim says, if life is uncertain and if I'm uncertain too, then I gotta pause at the moment and assess myself and what my main prerogative is. Exactly. Facts. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the conversation because, like I told you, I don't really got too much time on this bitch. And Aaliyah, you can get more than 1 subscriber easily. Because people like people who are dedicated. Like people seeing them do what they do. You know, even if they don't subscribe, or even if they do subscribe, even if they don't tell you. Like the amount of messages or people that's like people I haven't talked to in a long time. The way they come into my messages or DMs to be like, bro, I see you doing your shit. Appreciate it. Let's keep pushing. You know, most people will be watching, but they don't got to say nothing. Now, there's something before I even, because we talked about if life is uncertain, why does your life have to be? And we're gonna get to that towards a little bit to the end, because we're gonna read over some TikTok comments as well. I hope you have 1 million subscribers. Yo, Aaliyah, I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, definitely soon come when that time comes. You know, so I appreciate that very much. I know once I get 1 million subscribers, I'm gonna be like, man, shout out to Aaliyah. Aaliyah was like, hey, I hope you get 1 million. We had a good convo. I'm like, yeah. When I do my award speech, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I just want to say thank you to my family, my friends, everybody who believed in me. I want to say thank you to Aaliyah, you know, wishing me a 1 million. Now we at 1 million, so I appreciate it. Kato says, yeah, I got 47 subs, but you're making popular videos. Exactly. I'm over here grabbing this like y'all can hear me from the mic. But exactly, that's the whole thing. And even too with popular videos, and I covered a video on it too, but you know, most people that your community or what you're building, they want to hear your or see your vision on topics. So like even you can take gameplay, for example. You play video games, I play Overwatch. So if I play Overwatch, I create a montage of gameplay, but it could be through the lens of myself, which is unique, vice versa, you know? Aaliyah also says, you're a nice guy and you have a lot of things to do. Yeah, appreciate it, yeah. A lot, you know? That's why I gotta get out of here soon, but facts. A little bit, like, you know what, actually, this actually goes into what we're talking about. And it's something that's been hitting me because I just watched Thunderbolts, which I'm gonna make a movie review on in a few. Well, I think later today. But I've been mesmerized by characters who are undeniable. Like, for example, I got people like Tony Stark, Axe from Billions, if y'all haven't seen that. Charlie Cale from Poker Face. Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible. But the thing is with these people, right? These people, they're so undeniable in their work or their craft or what they do that no matter how unconventional, no matter how independent they are or shunned out from other people, people still want to bring them in their life, right? People still want to add them in, be like, well, even though this goes against my protocols or rules or whatever, I still had to add them in some way, somehow, because it's just undeniable. And I think this is such an importance on how to even create, because now because we talking a little bit about channels. Cat also says, you're nice. If I can gift, I will make you give 10 money. Well, I appreciate that. You know, a subscribe and a like is good enough for me, but I'm grateful that you even thought about that. Thank you. But a little bit even into it is that creating a channel or having perspectives on certain things, or, you know, just regardless, right? It creates an undeniable presence of a person. You know, I've even though there's topics, there's situations, things that I speak on that sounds a bit. Oh, thank you for being here, Kato. I appreciate you. Thank you. I hope to see you in the future lives. Everyone too that's here, thank you for being here. Hit the like button, please, and subscribe if you have not. We're on the road to the top, and I hope to see you guys in the future. If you guys are still here, let's keep talking. Now, again, a little bit, I'm going back into it, is that when you become an undeniable presence, not even just online, not even like the channel, the status, but as an individual, right? And the work that you do, your work ethic, your conversation, your communication, your problem solving, becoming an undeniable person is a top tier level that I believe most people should really capitalize on. And the reason why I believe they should be capitalizing on is because if you become undeniable in what you do and how you say and what you say, people have no right but to continue to they need your assistance some way, somehow, right? You're not asking for it, you're not begging for their assistance, but they're saying, this person right here adds amazing value. They know how to get the job done. I want to bring them onto the team. Some people could be like, oh, this and that, whatever, but having an undeniable presence breaks an algorithm of anything crazy, because what it really means when you even break down when you unravel what undeniable really means is that this person is rooted in their path. They're rooted in their decisions. They're rooted in what they're creating and what they created, right? their kingdom, their community, their foundation, their house, whatever you would like to call it, has been created and crafted by them, that is so undeniable you had no choice but to see it, listen to it, hear it. And it's correct. May not sound the best way people want to make it sound. May not be the best way people want it to be, all this and that. But as long as they are undeniable and they're correct in what they say, it doesn't matter. You can go to the stars and to the top. It's like this attitude of you need me, right? And of course there's a conversation of everyone needs each other, but once you become undeniable in your craft and who you are, even as an individual, as a confident individual, an assertive, authoritative individual, that attitude translate into someone that's gonna need your services, need your presence. They're gonna need your problem solving. They're gonna need your communication, and you have every single right to act the way that you act. That doesn't mean be little or be superior over others. It's just that attitude of, I know what I do is correct, and it evolves. Look at what happened. Look at what's been created. Look at what's being created. And it's an amazing attitude and demeanor to have in life. Because truthfully, and this is just me talking, and you guys can relate to me. I see your comments. Give me 1 second, Paven. But if you're anything like myself, I don't like to work for the man above me. Okay? I was taught to take the job for the man that's above. Okay, I was taught that to be the head honcho basically, and to learn that and to see, obviously, because there's a lot more factors that come into just being the head honcho or being the guy on top. There's everything that comes into it, but that's what I was taught. That's how I was brought up. That's what was instilled in me. That's what I was around a lot of the time. So learning that, becoming that, being that one person that can oversee or see the bigger picture or whatever, it comes with a price, obviously. But that's the thing. You want to make sure that you have that for yourself. I don't like working for other people, bro. I don't. If I have to, I will. Correct? But I also know, of course, you got to work a job and, all these things. I had to do what I had to do. But deep down inside, I genuinely wanted to create my own. Wanted to build my own foundation. And I am. And it's happening. And things are progressing, gratefully so. But the thing is that if you're anything like that wants to take charge and take initiative and create more for your life, then what deep down inside of you and that's speaking to you, then what you have to do and what you got to cultivate and craft is an undeniable presence of yourself. Presence, not even just the demeanor, but again, the thoughts, the thinking, everything like that, right? Because that can only come from, destroying what you once knew within. Because everything, as within, so without, everything has to translate. And sometimes, even as you are who you are now, and society doesn't see it just yet, or people don't see it just yet, it'll eventually always catch up. You just gotta let that happen, and you gotta be ahead of the crowd. There's a video I did about that, being ahead of the crowd. And it's not the thing of, damn, you're so far gone, or, damn, you're ahead of your time. It's not that I'm ahead of my time. I'm actually where I'm supposed to be. You just need to catch up. Type of attitude, right? And it's a great thing to have. It's a great way to look at it. Paper says you can plan, for example, I should get 100K in 8 months. Yeah, exactly. And then with that plan, you got to be able to know how to do it. Exactly. Boxing, great to see you. Thank you for stopping by. And Paper says, okay, so what YouTube channel about you, singer? What you mean? About you, singer or artist? How do you mean? Great to see you though, Boxing. But that's the thing. Boxing, I'm talking about becoming an undeniable presence, becoming an undeniable figure in life. And I mentioned Axe himself, but I also mentioned other people like Charlie Cale from Poker Face, which is a great TV show recommendation. Tony Stark, Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible. At least I got to go. Are you going to be live streaming tomorrow? Tomorrow, I'm not sure. Possibly Wednesday morning, because I'm going to be doing morning shows. And I'll definitely be able to do that. So just stay on the lookout. I will definitely post it. But thank you again for being here. I appreciate your time. And thank you for your subscribe earlier. I appreciate it. And y'all hit the like button if y'all have not. We on the road to the top. It helps the algorithm so people pull up in this bitch, But regardless, and I think that's just been hitting home and within me, right? Because even becoming undeniable also means becoming a person of truth. And the thing is that And the thing is that even becoming a person of truth is polarizing. Because once you not only live your truth, but you know the truth, every person has the unique choice to navigate the truth as their choice. I navigate the truth as how I want to navigate it. This is my way of cultivating the truth and embodying it in the presence of All-Star Izzy. This is how I'm going to communicate. This is how I'm going to build it. This is what's going to move forward. And this is how I'm going to teach it. Same thing for everybody else. But one thing that always resonates with every single undeniable person is the way and the source of why they are doing what they're doing. It's because they want to take initiative, take control of their own life. Because like we talked about, or even, no, excuse me, even for the title, if life is so uncertain, why do you have to be? If society is so fickle and if the world is so fucking superficial, if it's so artificial, if it's so expensive, if it's so scary, it's so crazy, then why the fuck do you have to be this type of person? Why do you gotta be that? Why do you have to be uncertain the way life is? Why do you have to match what life is? You see, the thing with what I resonate with and what they resonate with me is because I take life into my own hands. That doesn't say I'm not trying to be a control freak. I just control what I'm able to control and I move forward with that. That doesn't mean everything will always go my way. But if I create it from the decisions that I take and I take accountability and I know my decisions have effect, then I will take point, learn it, do it, notate that, keep moving forward. I'll take life by the hands. You must too. Because why do you gotta match what society brings, the world is? Why is it so wrong for you to create your own world, to create the world around you? Why can't you create your own communication within you? Why is your communication so fickle? Why are you superficial? Why are you upset? Why are you so up and down the world is? You see, most of it I believe is a reflection of what you are. And that doesn't take away from observing what the world is, but I can sit here and we can talk about how superficial the world is. But my mind will quickly change because once I hear how false a foundation is, I go into the part of, okay, so this is how we can create it to be better though. For instance, there was this comment, people were talking about, well, if things are so expensive, the taxes go higher, the bills are raising, which is all true. But it's great to recognize it. Okay, now let's create a plan and let's see what can make us more money. Because I remember I had this conversation with people, I've said this before, but the thing is, like, when they talking about all these bills and things are raising, when I hear stuff like that, all I hear is get my money up. All I hear is, okay, how do I make more money? How do I get myself in positions to make more money? I don't sit around waiting for a way to complain. I don't sit around waiting to relate to others. I stay, I listen. I may think this is fucked up, but genuinely deep down inside, I work my way to create something about this situation. Because I don't believe in sitting around and just complaining and just talking about it and just sharing those. It's nothing wrong with embracing conversations and saying how fucked up things are, because this is what creates a solution, is when you acknowledge what the situation that you're feeling so passionate for to create something out of it. But I don't sit around just waiting for that. I do something. Paven also says, okay, man, I think you're a singer and you have one subscriber in the Middle East. Nah, bro, I'm a rapper. I'm also a performer, recording artist. So yeah. But that's the thing about becoming polarizing, right? You got to become a force of nature in life. For yourself, though. For yourself. And see, you can have a part of motivation so you can be like, because again, I don't like working for the man above. I'm the man above. I want to be the man above, all that, right? So part of the motivation that definitely sparked and assist is that I don't want to work for anybody else. Thing two that comes with it is knowing that, okay, my desire comes not only from that, but it's from myself. So I'm going to transmute it and create it to be something better. Paven said, is it me or you? You're 12? 12 study. Did you just say you're 12 years old? That just threw me off guard. Hold on. You Kurdish and good luck. I am 12 study and I need to go to college. And I think saying is this easy, but it's hard. Listen, I'm not. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do, Paven. You need to reword you need to reword. Okay, 19. Okay, but I would need for you to reword your comments, please, because you're saying you need to go to college, and I think saying this is easy. I ain't saying this is easy, but it is hard no to got college. You got to reword this, bro. All right, you're 19. I need you to reword your messages better. All right, it would help. It would help a lot. Because it's difficult to make up what you're saying. If anyone else can read that and see what he's saying, trying to make up for what it is, and that's cool. But I'm going to keep continuing back into my conversation. But this is what I'm talking about. It's become undeniable, because if life is so uncertain, then why does a motherfucker got to be uncertain with it? Why do you got to be uncertain with life too? You can break away from the pack. You can break away from what once was. You can become better than that. And that's just the honest truth. Nobody wants to hear it, but it is what it is. Now, I'm going to skip to the part where we're going to talk about this conversation in TikTok. So give me 1 second. I'm about to pull up my TikTok really quickly, because this inspired the title for my conversation today. So give me one moment, y'all. Zorman, great to see you. Thank you for stopping by. But going back to the title, if life is uncertain, then why do you have to be? Okay? Now, there was this video that when I was on TikTok, I commented on, right? And it says, maybe Gen Z is obsessed with nostalgia because everything seems so artificial and now expensive. Okay? My first thought about that was, firstly, there's no thing to be obsessed about. And they're talking about Gen Z being obsessed with nostalgia. Nostalgia it's okay. And I'm going to say this before I even read my comments, because this is my first thought. There's nothing wrong with remembering what once was. There's nothing wrong with remembering what things were and how great they were. But don't keep yourself stuck in the past, though. Don't keep yourself stuck where what things once were. Why obsess over nostalgia? Because obsess is extreme. Remembering is one thing. Being obsessive over something that's not there anymore keeps you away from what is now. Keeps you away from how to cultivate your future now. Keeps you away from how to talk to women now. Keeps you away from making action now. All right? And I commented, I said, nah, people just don't know how to let go. And the thing is, because people don't know how to let go. It's not that you can remember nostalgia, okay, in passing, cool, let it go. But once you obsess and you get to an extreme part, and you worry way too much about what was, you're having a difficult time of letting go what that part was. Because truthfully, if we're not able to change that part, then what can we do for ourselves to possibly change it in the future for you, if that's what you're guided to? But that's the thing. What do you want to change? What do you want to do for yourself at this moment? People do have a hard time letting go, because nostalgia is filled with old memories and feelings they had. Things that happened. Oh, how good I looked. How good the food was. How low the bills were. Oh, damn, it was true. Right? The shit was low. The bills were low. The gas was low. Okay, cool. But if you're not able to get gas as much, or it's a bit challenging, then what does that also equal? How to get more money. How to financially raise my finances, So it's always a solution to everything, and people have a hard time to let go. Now let me look at these. Paven also says, okay, I'm sorry, my English is broken. I do not. Okay, well, what can assist is go to Google and type in from your language that you normally speak what you want to say, and then just do the translation from there. Maybe that can help you better. Ephraim says, I strongly dislike nostalgia videos. Yes, I do as well. I like to remember shit. I like to have fun. I like to enjoy what once was. But staying there, I'm here, and I'm also in the future and in the past simultaneously. And it's always happening. I don't like to waste my time. And I don't like to cultivate my time just in a continuous cycle of caring about what once happened. Now, when I say people just don't know how to let go. People are coming at my heads. All right. So I'm going to read these comments out to y'all, because I like conversation like this. And this also shows that even this, see, this is the undeniable shit that I be talking about. If you want to be undeniable or you have a conversation piece that you want to speak on, give your say. That doesn't mean be disrespectful, but say what you got to say. Stand 10 toes no matter what people say. Okay? People coming down my head. Because one thing that I've learned a lot, especially about people, is that they get super defensive about how they feel. That how they feel, yeah, how you feel can transmute into power, into knowledge and lesson, and become wisdom when you learn from it, right? But when people don't know how to cultivate their emotions correct, or they don't know how to move accordingly with them, they become defensive about how they feel, knowing that how they feel could be blinding them from different spots. All right. So this person said, yeah, you let go for better days. Those better days ain't coming. Okay. And I told him, I said, speak for yourself. Remember those 3 words, speak for yourself, because people talk from their own reality. Speak for yourself. Better days come for those who create it for themselves. Okay. I'm gonna read his comment again, because look, it's just right all up here, you know, all up here. He said, yeah, you let go for better days. Those better days ain't coming soon. From whose reality? From whose perspective? You see, this is why this fucking title and conversation is so important. On what if life is uncertain, if things are becoming artificial and super expensive and super crazy now, why does that reflect your life though? Why does that reflect you? Why does that need to reflect you? These are questions people need to ask themselves. And again, I said, speak for yourself. Better days come for those who create it for themselves. My better day, okay. Of course, my house, my place is great, right? Outside of that's great. Everything's tight. My reality is good. If life itself is raining, it's thunderstorming, am I going to complain about the world? Am I going to be like, oh my God, my life is reflecting that? No. Life does what it does outside of what you create your life to be. Because there's life, there's your life, and then there's life itself, right? Just like Mother Nature and the world and shit like that. So even when I say create it for yourself, I create my own happiness. I'm the source of my own happiness. I'm my own crutch. I am my own rock. I am there when I'm down. I'm there when I need to be uplifted. I'm there when I need counseling. I'm there when I need wisdom. All of that. If I'm not creating it for myself, I will be attaching myself to other things outside of me to make sure that my life is good for me. Oh, this is going good, so I feel like this is better. Oh, I just got $1,000. I ain't saying you should be happy, but you should not be happy about it. Definitely, be excited for what you gotta do. But oh yeah, I just got $1,000. Oh no, now it's gone. Now I feel like I'm a broke. You see, it's everybody doesn't realize how much they imitate the world itself when they talk about the complaints of the world. A lot of people can talk about from the point of themselves. Now, there's another comment that it says, it's human nature. Why do you think every generation experiences this? Okay. I said, it's nothing wrong with remembering what once was, but why obsess over something you have no control over than what you can do for yourself? And it's human nature to obsess with nostalgia? I don't think so, bro. I don't think it's human nature to obsess. I think it's human nature to feel and to be like, to understand that I have memories and to let go and let these things pass. But when you hold on to the attachment of shit that once was, you live there. You don't live here. Where's your mind at? Where are you at mentally? Where are you? Your body may be with us, but where are you at mentally? Where are you going? What's happening? Why do you keep hitting brick walls? Shit like that. Because again, if every generation experiences nostalgia and how things moving on, it's nothing wrong with nostalgia. Let me just say this. It's nothing wrong with nostalgia. It's nothing wrong with remembering what once was, right? But if you keep experiencing an obsession over, I wish things were the way they were, you don't know, or you're not able to evolve as a person. You must evolve. If you're not open to evolution within, you won't be open to evolution at all. Jazzy, great to see you. Thank you for stopping by. And that's the thing that gets me with people is that, okay, let me check this out. All right. You see this? This is the world right here. Sounds like the fear of scarcity. It is. That's the world. The world spins with or without you, right? Time, what does it do? It goes with or without you. But the one, and I think this comes from a like you said, a fear of scarcity, but it's like it comes from a like a lack of control of themselves. So what they try to cultivate or they try to hold on to is the memories because they can't control how the world is going. So they want to control, I feel this way. Okay, this feels safe to me. So I feel like I'm good when I obsess over nostalgia, when I feel this. Because in reality, they're just lacking control. They don't have no real power. But they think that their power is in holding on to what once was. That is not what power is. There can be power in it, but that's not what power is. Because again, if all these generations are experiencing this, okay, then you're just following what the wave is. Take some accountability and take some initiative. Take your life to your own hands. Now, another thing somebody also said, excuse me, one moment. Now, this guy, he said, nah, pay attention to the world. It's getting worse. Now, let me see what I said to him. Give me one moment. It's a hell of comments. I said it's nothing wrong. See, and I've been telling this almost to everybody, but I said it's nothing wrong with remembering what once was. But how does that help your situation in today's time? Being obsessed and living in the past doesn't help, because even if now pay attention to the world is getting worse. Even if the world is getting worse, okay, does that mean that you have to be worse with it? You see, this is what creates that undeniable being of what we were just talking about. This is what creates those unconventional leaders of a lifetime in this world, is when you don't see the world as a fault. You can, it has its hiccups. It's fucked up. It's this and that. Okay, but what you see out of it is opportunity, because if the world is getting worse day by day, moment by moment, okay, that's an observation. But what does that have to do with me though? What does the world itself have to do with me? I can create my reality to be strong and cultivate to move forward. This is what the that one term of last longer than your enemies or last longer than everybody to win really means. Because once you cultivate yourself and you take focus on in your life, everybody who's too focused on what's outside of them or complaining too much, down the line they won't be to that top, because everybody doesn't want to work for a person. Well, there's some people that genuinely want to. So I mean, shout out to them. I respect them, because you gotta have those. I'm very grateful for them in this lifetime. But everybody who has that feeling of, oh, I want to be the guy on top. I want to be the man upstairs. I want to make the shots. I want to okay, you want to do that? You gotta look at life a completely different way. Life is getting worse. Cool. We can observe that. We can see it. We can talk about it. We can agree. We can converse on the subject. But what's it gonna do with how we're moving? You can adapt to certain things that, okay, it's moving like this, so I can see this. I can take certain solutions, make it A, B, and C into my plan, learn to cultivate that, master that, boom, I'm headed to another top of the fucking mountain. Because I don't waste my time on worrying about how the world is getting worse. Why don't you worry about how you're getting worse? Why don't you worry about where your focus is? Again, observation isn't wrong. You can observe shit. Yeah, that's fucked up. Okay, cool. Damn. All right, let's keep moving on. Keep moving forward with your life and cultivate that shit. Make your foundation strong. Now, another person also told me, I think this person also, there was two people that agree with me basically. Somebody said, pretty sure our parents were not this nostalgic, and their parents weren't either. Actually, research shows this is the first time in history a generation is more depressed than the previous. And if that's true, because I didn't do my research on it, but let me know what y'all think. Is that true to y'all? Do y'all know about that? Because I'm not too sure on it. But going even a little bit back to that part, for even saying that this generation is more depressed than the previous, I think with this generation, my generation, and more generations to come, they have a lack of emotional management. They don't know how to manage themselves, because maybe everything is giving them too fast. Maybe everything is more of a feeling thing. Maybe everything is more of an expression rather than what discipline can bring with the expression. Discipline can bring with the feelings. I did see something though on it was a long time ago that talking about how this generation was a lot more like depressed and shit and a bit more moody or whatever things like that. And if that's true, then shit, fuck. What it just lacks in is that they're too stuck on it. See, everything I just said, he said in one comment. Too stuck on what once was. Work with the current. Work with the current. Don't work against shit. Only time you gotta work against shit is when you're working on your own craft and there's other people trying to work against you. 1,000. This other person also says, yeah, they quite literally always think their era was better. Why you think Trump got this thing going on where it's never been? Yeah, he was talking on some other level. I'm not finna talk about that. But this other person also said that because we're just supposed to be acceptable to anything. And I said, if anything seems more expensive nowadays, and all that says is get your money up. No one will save us but ourselves. I think that's the harsh truth nobody really wants to hear, though. I don't think nobody genuinely wants to hear the truth of no one will save you, bro. No one is going to keep their hand out. And if they do, they're doing it out of the kindness of who they are. There's people that will. But that one, the one be all, to reach their hand out and change your whole life, that comes from you making the decision. Even if you have nothing, and you worked and you put yourself in a position to be where you're at, who made the decision to go where you're at for that to happen? You did, right? So is by chance a coincidence? Can be. But who also created the action to get to that point? See what I'm saying? Now, I think there's one more. So excuse me, yes. All right. So there's this person he was speaking with me. He said, excuse me one moment. I'm looking for it. He said, that's the reason you sad in life, because you have nothing left to hold on to. You saying people don't know how to let go, but it sounds like you might as well with nothing left to hang on to, right? And I told him, how does me saying people have to let go mean that? I got exactly what I need. I don't focus on what was when I'm creating what's now in the future. Being obsessed over something that is not a flex. Okay, yes, being obsessed over something is not a flex. There we go. He said, excuse me. That's crazy, bro. Dude called me. Dude said I was sad, bro, in life because I said people don't know how to let go. You see this. People go off the rails of conversations, dog. Hold on, I'm almost done, anyways. He said, death, for example, is something that every person should hold on to, though. That could probably go both ways, but why would you just let go of your mother? This is what you call emotionalist. Sentimental value is everything nowadays. That's all some people have because that's all they know is true to them. And I said, how does me saying have to let go mean that? Or people have to let go mean that? Excuse me, wrong one, my apologies. And god damn, where is it? There's a hella fucking thing, shit. Hold on, y'all, hold on. Wait, god damn. And I said, I hear what you're saying, but no one was saying anything about letting family go. This is about being obsessed with nostalgia because of today's culture. And he basically, he was just going off the rails with the conversation. Talking about, emotionalist and all these things. It's nothing emotionalist about letting go. Honestly, it's actually emotional letting things go. If we're going to be honest about it. That's emotional. Letting things go is a part of how things are meant, right? It's just a part of the process. But that's emotional. You don't just become emotionless and just detach. No, in order to let things go, you gotta feel that shit. You gotta embrace that time. You gotta, even the introspective, the feeling and the reflecting, you're experiencing that. That's emotional, but not crazy emotional. That doesn't make you emotionless for letting things go. No, that actually says you have a strong understanding of your emotional capacity and management and discipline in your life, because you understand that some things can be a bit challenging to let go, like letting go of friends or families that once were in a way, but you have to keep moving forward. Not everybody's gonna be on the same playing field. Having to let go of how certain things are. Sacrifices that we talked about before. But this is what happens when you understand you and you move forward. You gotta be able to let things go. Doesn't take you to be emotionless. You're not this detached person. You can, be stoic with it, but you're not the super stoic person that feels nothing. No. the undeniable people or people with game, all stars, everybody, like those people that understand, they feel the emotions, bro. They're not emotionless. If anything, they're more emotional, but not in a bad way. They cultivate their emotions. They know how to use their emotions for power. They know how to transmute the power, their feelings, into something powerful for themselves. The pain is power. Everything like that. So it's not emotional. It actually makes you a lot more intact with who you are. Even just as, you and within your mind, everything, soul, but you as a human being. That's transmuting yourself. That's evolution. Is when you come to understand that. Whoo, that was powerful right there. Yeah. Follow that Instagram, boy. You know what I'm saying? But that's gonna be the end of this. And then a little bit, two more things. Because I did really like the comment where he was talking about like sentimental value is what most people have or most people enjoy because it's all they have because it was true to them. And it's true to them because they experienced that. But truthfully, that's what assists to connect with a lot of people is, sentimental value or emotional value. That doesn't mean be on some simp ass shit. But it also means to, connect with the person, in front of you. See them as who they are. One thing that my mentor taught me was you can be the best at everything, right? So he taught me how to be the best and am the best, all that, and plus more steps to the best. Because the best, truthfully, yeah. But his thing was like, but never be a machine though. Meaning just never operate like you're a machine. Always understand that you're still human, but you can still be the best. And always look at people as who they are. Because what people can try to do is, if you're so, see now this is where that part of like the letting go thing can even come into. Because even taking yourself up into higher perspectives, higher learnings, empowering yourself, executing, you're on a different level from most people basically. And when you're in that state of that, sometimes you may not see people for who they are. If they're like, how do I get better? All right, just be consistent and do some work. That's it. You gotta do it or you're gonna fail. That is good. But what is also great is to see and to listen, right? And to tune into what they're doing and say, okay, but why are you asking that? Have you tried to do YouTube? Have you tried to be consistent? And to see who they are for what they are, not for what your self-talk can be. Because my self-talk can help at least 3 people out of 100, right? But everybody operates different. And this is the things that he was telling me. And this is things that I'm starting to see as I go. And even as I coach or as I talk to people, engage with people, is that even if we're not on the same level, that doesn't take from you being any different from one step closer to where you want to be. Because again, if not now, then when? That's the only thing that separates me from a lot of people. Is that right there. That's it. The 24 hours, we talk about that all the time. What do you do in 24 hours? So that's a great thing too, because even as I empower and I motivate, right? Because even before I was a coach, I was doing empowerment. I'm still a performer, recording artist, but I sold out shows or I did tours. I connected with people. Why? Because of sentimental value, emotional value. I, touched their hearts. I made them feel empowered. They were on fire. They were turned. They were lit. They were like a mirror of what I was doing on stage. But that came from because I was connecting with them on that wave of, I fit this hits home. And that's the thing. You gotta hit home for people and just connect with them on who they are. That doesn't mean you gotta settle for anything less than that, but just connect with other individuals, because that's how some of the best leaders that I've been in contact with, they know who they are, but also they see people for who they are, how they can get better, but they understand that not everybody's gonna get to that point of the trophy, to be honest. And for the last thing before I end off with everything is that you are with you wherever you go. I think this is one of the best things that I wrote down, actually. Excuse me, one moment. My apologies. I'm just looking at this really quickly. But that's huge though. You know, just always remember that you are with you wherever you go. You're nowhere else but with you. You know, this goes to a lot for people who wants to, you know, go to different states and get, you know, they don't want to be where they are. They want to be a whole different identity. All right, bro, you can do that. 6 months in, that 7th month, you come back to earth of who you actually were. You can never run from yourself. And no matter who you are now, and you can definitely evolve and everything, shift, enhance all this. But once you go to Bahamas, you're still gonna be that same person that was in that dorm room. You're gonna be that same person that was on your mother's couch. You know? So it's best to know who you are, identify it, and evolve that part of yourself and enhance those qualities. And it's great to do that. Because not everybody is able to. So just always keep that in mind, that you're always with you. Yeah, everybody can hear it, but nah, bro. Not everybody genuinely knows that they're with them, you know? But that, again, that's my time. I want to say thank you to everybody. My name is All-Star Izzy. I have somewhere to be in a few. I'm grateful for y'all's attention. Thank y'all for taking the time out. Zorman, great to see you. Boxing Day, appreciate for that. Paving, Ephraim was in the building. We had a lead. We got some new viewers that's in there. Cattle, you know, some other new folks that was in here. So I want to say I appreciate everybody for their time. My name is All-Star Izzy. Remember, if not now, when? When will you do what you said you wanted to do? When will you do you said what you're gonna do? This best version everybody chases is already an extension of you. You just think that it's hard because you gotta do it. And it's not easier said than done. It's easier done than said. My name is All-Star Izzy, and that's my time. I'm grateful for everybody. I'm grateful for this community. A lot more to come. A morning show. We're pulling up. Until next time, appreciate y'all. Thank you.